It's the second place decider in Group A as South Africa faces South Korea. And Hugo Bruce, just like the rest of us, knows that Bafana need to win this game if there's any hope of going to the next round. Because let's be honest, Czechia is not beating Mexico. So all we have to do is to just win. There is no hope. It's guaranteed that we are going through if we beat South Korea. Hello and welcome to the Cutback with me, Coach Mpilo. We are going to look at the lineup of this game and talk about what Bafana needs to do in this game to ensure that they win. Now, obviously, when we talk about Hugo Bruce, there are a few things that he needs to consider. And the biggest questions are, how's the midfield going to line up and why? And the striker position, because those are the two places of contention, and we're going to talk about that. Starting with the goalkeeper, nothing changes here. Ronwen Williams is going to be the keeper. I think one thing that we need to talk about with regards to Williams, he needs to stop those dangerous passes into midfield when there's no need. And he just needs to watch his passes. If you remember in the previous game, there's a pass that he played to Mbogazi, and Mbogazi's body shape was not in the right place to be receiving that pass with that pace. So he just needs to take care of his passing, because I think playing at Sundowns, with all due respect, and playing against Orbit College, Marumo Gallants, and all these teams that don't press you, it ends up making you too comfortable. And then you play against teams that actually press you, and now all of a sudden you get caught napping because your default settings say relax. So please don't relax, because one mistake and we're punished and we're out of the World Cup. Speaking of people who need to up their game, Khuliso Mtau, unfortunately, this World Cup has not been his. Forget the memes. I'm talking about serious things here. He's just not been himself. I hate that fact. I hate the fact that one of our better players is now just being known and remembered in a clownly fashion by memes because he hasn't performed. His decision making in the final third has not been great. I know he's a right back, but he overlaps Akir. So when he does overlap, he's not doing the things that we know that he can do. He's not like Thapelo Mrena, who's also good, very good going forward. But he's decent enough going forward to be doing better. And he hasn't. Even defensively, he's looked shaky. This is the game that you show them, Sailor, that you are that good, because I know that you are that good. And speaking of players who are that good, but somehow, some people, some factions want him to not perform, and they hope he doesn't perform, is Ime Ocon. I don't have time to entertain people who want to have problems with dual citizenships. Umchita has been performing, but some people just want to find excuses to attack him. But Ime Ocon has been solid alongside ETLP. Mbogazi there at the back. These two guys have played very well together. We just need to be better in those smaller nyana moments. You can go check out the video. Let me link it up here. 322. I'm gonna write it on my hand. So we need to just be more decisive and be better in moments like how we conceded that goal. We're not supposed to concede that goal, and most of our defenders were involved. And this is another guy who, you know, it hasn't clicked for him, but unfortunately, the next best thing would be Bradley Cross at left back, because I don't trust Usamgelo Kabeni. But we're not changing. We're not changing the lineup now, because now what if you bring on Ukabeni, you bring on Cross, they have the tournament jitteries and they are scared and then they underperform. So no, Umchita must stay at his position. And this is where it becomes very interesting. Subscribe to the channel, because I might just be about to piss you off. Tebogo Mokoena is suspended because of getting back-to-back yellow cards, which means we have Mbata, Adams, and Stolle. Stolle is back. His suspension was just one game, World Cup things. So he's coming back. Whether you like it or not, Stolle is starting that game, because one of the things that Korea is going to do, breaking at pace, trying to attack us, hit us with that, and we're going to need some physicality to basically, whatever that they can do with pace, move the ball and combine, Stolle will be there to break that, because he's the only remaining defensive midfielder, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, because Mbata is not a defensive midfielder. Adams is also not a defensive midfielder. So with Mokoena out, that leaves Ustole as the only available defensive midfielder. And no, they are not going to take Mbogazi and play him in midfield, because then now that means you're introducing a new defensive partnership at the back in such a crucial game. Rather play someone who's used to playing that position, albeit is not in form. And alongside him, because I know some Pirates fans were ready to attack, no, it's still going to be Umbata, because he's also a physical player. Well, in terms of, I've never seen him like crunching those tackles, but his physicality is also going to help. Now, it's not like Chechia that we need aerial ability, but his long legs covering ground, because if you haven't noticed, we are playing a 4-2-3-1 and having those two people and his shots in the absence of Mokoena as well, because if we're being honest, even in the previous game, he wasn't bad, because I know a lot of people who are subscribed to the channel are Pirates fans. And for whatever reason, if you say something, I found this in the internet, if you say something that someone disagrees with you on, they think now we're enemies. You do know, I'm talking to you, Baba Gasbanban, you do know that we can disagree on things and not necessarily have to insult each other. Because there are some people that who, if they disagree with you, they now insult you. Some threaten to unsubscribe. Unsubscribe, Bella. We can't be acting like kids here. If we disagree on something, I disagree with you on Bata because of 1, 2, and 3. Not, I disagree with you on Bata. We disagree, and it's okay. Kanti nenzani kumanyama relationships. I'm just venting now, because some of these things are very frustrating. Why can't you just disagree with the person? But anyways, Umbata holds it down there in midfield to add that presence as well, because we need that presence. And it could just be one of those, because in qualifiers, I think it was against Uganda, he came in clutch, he scored that goal. It was a winner when we had, I think, at Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. And then we went to Uganda, we're losing, and then he came in clutch again, he scored an equalizer. This, let it be, Mata, come on. Let it be this other moment again where you come in clutch again in the absence of Mokoena, and then you take the reins and you do this celebration. Come on, Shand. Right, which then brings us to the 10, Relem Mofokeng. And I need Mofokeng to start, because I will stand by my words from the previous game. And I said it. I said that Mofokeng did not give us all that he could. Didn't say like it was bad, because people interpreted it that way. And I showed it when I was doing the tactical breakdown. It's not because he was bad. It's because he came in to exploit a certain area of the pitch. And then they started man-marking him, because they realized that he was going to be dangerous. So what did Bafana do? Then there were rotations. It wasn't just Mofokeng changing the game, but everything, even the system. We moved from playing a 4-3-3, and then we started playing a 4-2-3-1, where we now had a proper 10 in front of the 2 6s of Umbata, Mokoena, and now we're playing 1-10. So the system changed, so obviously things were going to change. And then when Bruce realized that, okay, Mofokeng is being man-marked, Mofokeng started drifting again. I'll link the video up there. You can go check it so that you watch what I'm talking about. Started drifting, and then that created space, because him and Apolis were rotating. They do that at Pirates a lot. So now that was also added, and the movement was even better. Abo Masego, Abo Mdawe overlapping more. Mutiba was inverting into midfield. So there was a lot of movement that was done later on in that game, and that's how we ended up getting a penalty. It's not just Tugutu Mofokeng made all the change. He did contribute, but I think that it would be a lie for me after rewatching the game to say all the changes came from him. But I know that if he's on the pitch, Mofokeng, he is going to be a danger man, and I believe that he should start this game, because if you bring him on in the second half, then it's kind of pressure and all of that. Let him start the game, let him grow into the game, because players also need to grow into the game, see by himself while he's in the game, and absorb that pressure and get used to it. Don't just bring him on when you need solutions, but let him start while the problems are still even not there. And then right winger, we're not going to debate this. Masego was brilliant in the previous game, and they will be in this one too. Apolis started shining, as I said, when they were rotating with Mfukeng and doing all of those things. He started looking even better because, you know, that movement and the understanding between switching those positions was really good. And then up front, you're going to fight me on this, but I think it's going to happen. Reina started the first and the second game and did not offer us much because the idea was to hit them behind. Now, if we're expecting South Korea to have more of the ball, Urenas might still play for his pace in behind. But you remember when I said that when Mfukeng came on and they man-marked him, he was kind of neutralized. And one of the reasons for that was because the hold-up play by Renas was just not good enough to hold up the play and let Mfukeng come into the game. Does that now mean since Makgopa came in and that as a problem started being solved, is that meaning Makgopa will start? Maybe not. And here's why I think that this guy might start. And I know you don't like the idea of Foster starting. Well, because his percentage in terms of goals for Bafana Bafana is better compared to that of Makgopa. Go check the stats. But also, if you bring on Foster, who's not really been high on confidence, second half to solve problems, it might not help. Kandu Makgopa, he's come on second half of games and he has changed the games for Bafana Bafana. So for him to start and relying on Foster second half, I think that's not really good. Rather start with the one who on paper is supposed to be a good player. Even the numbers are backing him, a better player, and the numbers are backing him. And if it doesn't work, then you switch to the one who you know that as a super sub, as an impact player, has worked so far. And I think that would be Makgopa in the second half. But do you see this happening? What do you expect to be the lineup? And are you going to be up to watch that game? Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have subscribed. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.